Hello everybody, Roger says hey. So I've watched a couple of videos now on the different leagues and the different teams and the different tournaments and all of that stuff about soccer slash football. So now I'm going to actually learn how to play the game. Now, there were several rules videos suggested by all of you, and I chose this one. Not sure why, maybe because it's slightly longer than the other ones, and I figure it might be a little bit more thorough. But if you're just tuning in, I don't know how to play soccer, for the most part. I do know that you kick the ball from one end to the other, and you pass it to your teammates, and you guys work it down the field until you can score a goal. I know the ball can go out of bounds, and I hear there's something called the offside rule that's apparently so complicated that nobody knows how it works, so we'll see. I know that there are penalties and something called a penalty kick, I think, where you get a free kick towards the goal. I don't know, I'm probably not even using anywhere close to the right terminology. So I'm gonna learn what the right terminology is right now.
Hello friends, welcome to the School of Sports. In this video, I'll be talking about rules of soccer. Let's dive into it.
Football is played in massive stadium. This is San Siro, capacity 80,000. It's in Italy. I've been there. It's so loud and noisy. And in the night, the stadiums look even incredible. With the light shining on, it's amazing experience. Now, the basic thing is there's a team A and their objective is to hit the ball inside this goal post. And the team B, their objective is to hit the ball inside this goal post. As simple as that. Now we look at the top view of the same stadium, and this is how it looks like. I'll be explaining the marking later, but basically this is the playing area. If ball is in this area, it's good. If it goes outside, like it goes outside the goal line, or if it goes outside the sideline, different things can happen. The clock is running clock, so it keeps on ticking on no matter if someone is injured, if the ball is out, if ball is not in a playing game. It's a 90-minute game. They play two halves of 45 minutes each and 11 players on each side. They have 3 substitution allowed, but the substitution is one way. It's not like basketball, you can go out and come in and go out. No, once you go out, you're substituted, you're not able to play for rest of the game. There's an injury time added to the running clock, so after 90 minutes, based upon how many injuries happen, how many times the game was stopped, they add 1 to 8 minutes.
Yeah, so totally different from anything I'm used to in sports. First of all, the 2 halves with no clock stoppage, that's pretty awesome, because I get sick and tired of all of the freaking timeouts that they do over here in our sports. Not only do the sports have timeouts just, for the sake of the game that the coaches or the players call so that they can do whatever they need to do for their timeout, but there are legitimate timeouts scheduled for television as well, just so commercials can play. That has nothing to do with the game whatsoever. It's just that they'll get to a stopping point, the refs will call like a 2-minute timeout for commercials, and everybody gets to just take a break. The 11 players is similar to our football over here. Our football teams have 11 players on the field. There's actually like 80 players or something on the team, but only 11 on the field at one time. The substitutions are also extremely different. We don't have any limitations to substitutions over here that I'm aware of. Players can come out and go in as many times as they need to during a game or want to. So to me, that makes the substitutions just way more meaningful in these games. There's a lot more on the line when you're substituting players in this sport, because you better make sure that you get that substitution right, because there's no going back. And also, you have to be in incredible shape, because a lot of you guys told me in the comments of my other videos that these players will sometimes play the entire 90 minutes, which is insane considering how much running goes on during this game. And also, injury time added to the clock at the end it's very different. Like we don't do that either over here.
Approximately. Now this is how they start. So you can see a team 11 players, another team of 11 players. There are 4 referees. Over here you see a bench. It's a substitution area, so the 11 players play on the ground, and there are other 6 to 7 players sitting on the bench, which can be substituted during the game, but only 3 can be substituted. Here you would see out of all these 11 players, one is dressed differently, same in the other team. That guy is called goalkeeper. So everyone except goalkeeper cannot use their hands. They just need to use their head, chest, and legs. That's all.
I have a question about the goalkeepers that I've had my entire life when I watch soccer or football. You know, they're always dressed in the different colors. A lot of the times, the colors have nothing to do with the team's colors at all. Like, I would think that a goalie would at least wear the team's colors or something, but they just wear random colors. So, why is that? Why do they not wear their team's colors? Like, I understand them wanting to wear something different to stand out, but at least, like, make it different, but also make it like your team's colors or something. Like, this guy is in green, and the rest of his team is black and red. Like, I mean, what? Do they get to choose what color they want to wear? Are there specific colors that they wear that are requirements? Look, I know it's not important at all to the game, but it's just always baffled me my entire life. So if you guys could please lay that question to rest in my brain, I would appreciate it.
But the goalkeeper can use hands in a certain part of the field. This is how typically a match starts. Everyone of one team is on side A, another team is side B. Nobody will be standing in the circle, and this guy starts by kicking it off. Now, if I give you a top view of the field, this is how they stand. As I said, there's only one guy in the circle. That's why the circle is there, just for the kickoff. Once the kickoff is done, then it doesn't matter until a goal is scored. Here, I would say this is a goalkeeper, and goalkeeper can use hands in this area. Outside this area, goalkeeper cannot use hands.
Okay.
Now these four players are called defense. Their job is to protect opponent from scoring goals. These are called midfielder. Their job is to protect the goal as well as move the ball forward. And then these two are strikers, and their job is to score the goal. Now I have written S, M, and D for striker, midfielders, and defense. As the game progresses, they move across the field. This is how a typical in-between game scenario would look like. So strikers are typically moving in this area. Defensive are typically moving in this highlighted area, and midfielder needs to move a lot, carrying ball from defense to offense.
Oh, okay. So they kind of have like different zones that they play in. Like, I guess they could run over the entire field no matter what your position, but generally you don't want to do that. Like the defensive guys, for instance, they kind of stay in the back half of the field. Do they ever go on offense and try to like score a goal, or is that just like the strikers that do that? Like, how strict is that? How strict are the different roles? You know, can they kind of mix things up a little bit? And it looks like the midfielders are the ones that have to be in like tip-top shape because they're the ones that have to cover the most ground, it looks like, too.
This is how a 4-4-2 formation looks like. So when they play the match, they move forward, and there are 4 defense, 4 midfield, 2 strikers. It's a typical formation, not a good balance between offense and defense. The 4-3-3 is very attacking. There are 3 strikers. And let's talk about goal, the way in which you can score a goal. So you can hit the ball by...
Okay. Did he just like stop right in the middle of that explanation? Because I'm about to figure this one out on my own. 4-3-3, attacking. You guys say attacking for offense, basically. So you're like attacking the other team's goal, basically, I guess. I'm assuming this is considered a more attacking formation because there are kind of like 3 strikers, you know, so there are more guys there to score versus the 2-4-4 or 4-4-2 formation, where it's more defensive minded. That makes sense in my head. I hope that's correct.
The 4-3-3 is very attacking. There are 3 strikers. And let's talk about goal, the way in which you can score a goal. So you can hit the ball by your foot, smash it into the net, the goal post, and you can score a goal. Or the second way is you can direct it by your head and score a goal. Now the goalkeeper needs to defend a lot of areas, so he's allowed to use hands, but only in that designated area, and get pumped up as well. In order to score a goal, the ball should cross the goal line, and there is a goal decision system which ensures that the ball is beyond the line. Now, if you
Okay.
throw the ball outside the sidelines, there's a throw-in. So if you tackle the ball outside, or if your player is moving and took the ball outside, so whoever touched the ball last before it goes out, the other team gets to throw in the ball.
Yeah.
If you
Okay.
get the ball outside the sidelines, if an attacking team gets it outside by just dribbling it, or if the attacking team just throws the ball outside it, then the goalkeeper get a chance to put the ball anywhere in the square and kick it into the game to play it.
Okay.
Now, if the ball goes beyond the goal line after hitting the defensive goalkeeper, here you can see if it would not have touched the goalkeeper, then it would be goal kick, but because it touched it, so it's a corner. Here the defensive player took the ball outside the sideline, so it's a corner kick. You put the ball in corner, toss it in, and try to score a goal. Goalkeeper in this case caught it, and he can toss the ball and kick it into the game.
So it's kind of like an inbounds play from under the basket in basketball, is what I'm getting with the corner kicks. Kind of the same idea, where you get kind of a good positional advantage, I guess, on offense to try and score. And that's kind of what an inbounds under the basket is in basketball. Okay, so I got it. If the ball touches a defensive player while it's going out of the goal, going past the goal line, then it's a corner kick. If it doesn't hit a defensive player, then the goalie gets to kick it from the box. Okay, I'm gonna go back
the
here.
ball outside the sideline, so it's a corner kick. You put the ball in corner, toss it in, and try to score a goal. Goalkeeper in this case caught it, and he can toss the ball and kick it into the game, or he can just drop the ball and kick it to his players, or
Does he have to do that though within the box? It looks like this guy, at least on the game, is doing it inside the box. So I'm assuming that he can't toss it or kick it into the game outside of the box. Also, he may go into this, but what is that curved line at the top of the box? What is that?
or he can just throw the ball. So goalkeeper got a lot of options. There are fouls. If the defensive player tackles bad, then they get a yellow card. Yellow card is a warning.
Is that what you guys? Is that what you guys call a tackle? I guess like a slide kick type thing? Is that what you guys call tackling? Because we have tackling in our football too, but it's when you like grab the guy and throw him to the ground, basically. So it's a little different.
Defensive player tackles bad, then they get a yellow card. Yellow card is a warning here. It's a bad tackle, nowhere on the ball, so it's a first yellow card. If the player does that again, look, he's not even close to the ball, just damaging the player. Then it's a second yellow card, which means it's a red card, and he is out of the game. They will have to play with one less player. You don't always get two yellow cards.
So these fouls are also very similar to basketball fouls. A basketball foul is basically when you hit the other player, you make contact with the other player instead of going for the ball. So it's very, very similar in this situation. Also, it's crazy to me that if you get sent off during the game with a red card, that you can't send another player in to substitute for that player. You just have to play with 10 players. Like, our sports over here don't do that. You're allowed to, like, send in, because you always have to have the same number of players on the field or the court or whatever. You can't play with one less player. It's just not allowed in our sports. So that's also very different.
Of the game, they will have to play with one less player. You don't always get two yellow cards. If your tackle is really bad, then you can directly get the red card, like in this case. Now he's out of the game, he's sent off. But if your tackle is good, you don't get any card. In this case, the defensive player, the guy in the red shirt, he hits the ball. He does not hit the player. Here, see, he hit the ball, so he is fine. No card for him. So good tackle, no problem. Bad tackle, issues. Now, depending where
so you can knock the other player down as long as you make contact with the ball. It's okay, is what it looks like.
do the tackle, it can be costly. Here, he just slapped the opponent.
Okay, well, maybe not.
Do the tackle, it can be costly. Here, he just slapped the opponent.
Wait, who did the
Depending
tackle?
where you do the tackle, it can be costly. Here, he just slapped the opponent. He just slapped it. So if you slap...
Okay, well, in that case, he went for the ball, but he also hit the guy in the head, which looked intentional, so maybe there's a little discretion there.
Or you do a foul, it's you get a free kick, foul anywhere. He just... Depending where you do the tackle, it can be costly. Here, he just slapped the opponent. He just slapped it. So if you slap or you
Just
do a
slap.
foul, it's you get a free kick. Foul anywhere in this area, you get a free kick, which means you just place the ball, and the other team can come in and kick it directly into the goal. It's very dangerous. Most of the time, if it's close to goal, they score a goal. So defensive players need to be careful here. A header and a goal. There is another foul thing called penalty kick. If anywhere here, it's a free kick. If you do a foul in this area, it's penalty kick. Here, the foul is in the goalkeeper area, the big box.
Oh.
So it's a penalty kick. That's a direction for penalty kick, and a yellow card because that's a bad foul. Here, see, there's nowhere ball, and he just crashed the other player. So penalty kick, high chances of scoring goals since ball is close to the goal, just goalkeeper and the player. Now the another thing is offside. Here,
Here we
if
go.
you see the guy on the top is a referee, he raised the flag, called it offside. Why? Because the attacking player is beyond the last defensive player when his partner or his teammate was passing the ball. That's offside. That doesn't count. If he score a goal, doesn't count. You just place the ball there and opponent team starts. So here, see, the Gareth Bale A guy is beyond the last defensive man when his partner is passing the ball. So it is a clear offside. In case when your player is
Okay.
good, he's not beyond the last defensive man, there's no foul, you can continue to play. Football is
Okay.
played.
I understand that. You can't be beyond the defense when you're being passed the ball, right? You know, I don't know if I like that rule though. I feel like if you can get past the defense, then you should be rewarded for that. You know, and make the defense work a little bit harder. Try to stay between you and the goal or something like that. Kind of like in basketball. It's like in basketball you can do a fast break. If you can beat the defense back down the field, then by all means go for it. I don't know if I like that rule or not. That's an interesting rule. I wonder why they have that, actually.
Is played for 90 minutes. If it's a tie, they play for 30 extra minutes. If it's tied again, then
You play for 30 minutes if there's a tie? Do you really need 30 minutes? Like, our overtimes over here are like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Maybe the NBA does an extra 15. I don't know. I don't really watch the NBA very much, but 30 minutes seems like a long time. But maybe that's because it's really hard to score a goal and you need that long.
and then they go for penalty shootout, which is each team can continue to play. If it's tied again, then they go for penalty shootout, which is each team takes 5 penalty kicks. Just goalkeeper
Okay.
and their players. So the first player comes in, kicks the ball, and he missed it. It's on the pole. So they didn't got a score. Other team comes score. So they got a 1 point. Then Brazil comes in. Second chance, they missed it. So they got 0. Portugal comes in, scored a goal. They got 2. So whoever gets more out of 5 shots, that team wins. And if it's
Okay.
a tie, then they just go for 1 more and 1 more and 1 more. Here it's a 3-3 last kick by Portugal, and they won. They won and they celebrate. They celebrate, and
Portugal.
the team who lose, they are sad. Like in the sport, it's brutal. The team who wins got the glory. And
Thank you for watching this video.
He
Share it
keeps-
with your friends.
He keeps just like randomly cutting himself off in mid-sentence. Okay, well there you have it. I think I understand the rules of soccer a little bit better now, so that when I watch a game, I might have some idea of what's going on. I'm sure there are other videos that I could watch. Like, I still don't know like what kind of tactics you would use, if there are defensive, I'm gonna say plays, but you guys don't really probably have plays. I don't know. Do you have plays in football? But you know what I mean, like just strategies and stuff to score or to defend. I would have to learn a little bit more about that too, I think, to fully appreciate the game. But thanks to all of you who have suggested this video. If there are others that would be good for me to watch, let me know down in the comments. In addition to just kind of learning about the game itself, I would also kind of like to learn how it fits into your cultures, learn about some of the different teams, some of the different players, and that sort of thing. Because beyond like David Beckham, I'm completely clueless. I don't even know who David Beckham played for. Yep, that's how much I know about soccer. But don't worry, I'm gonna get clued in. I'm gonna learn all of this stuff. It'll be interesting to come back in 6 months and watch this and just see how cringy it was at how little I knew about this game. I've also had a lot of requests for rugby and cricket too, so those are 2 other sports, and AFL football, like Australian Is that Australian football? I don't know. There's some type of Australian football that I have been asked to look at as well. Also, somebody mentioned netball, which I've heard of before, but I have no idea what that even is. Leave your suggestions down in the comments. Answer my questions down in the comments. I would appreciate it. Also, quick reminder to like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. Check out the links to my social media and my Discord down in the description of this video and in my pinned comment if you're interested in any of that. Roger here, and I thank you as always for watching. Stay tuned for more sports stuff coming your way, and we will see you next time.